What is that? This is the Milwaukee m12 Hackzall. As you can see right there. Got the 4 amp hour battery on it. I actually got this to get into tight spaces, like in between studs and whatnot. And as you can see, things are starting to come together. I just gotta move one wire over, put some boxes in, do stuff like that. But as you can see in this corner, we have some termite damage and also some water damage. That right there is probably both. And so this 2x4 is going to come out. And eventually all this siding will be replaced with OSB, and then siding will go on top of that. But any of these 2x4s that are wrecked, they're getting replaced. This one's probably going to get replaced. So what I do... Mommy's in the bathroom. Alright, hold on. Okay, where was I? I don't even remember. I got this saw so that I could fit into these tight spaces where my rigid octane obviously is way too big, but it is super powerful, and pretty much after using this saw ruins using most saws ever, because the rigid octane is one of the most powerful recips they make. And so I was doing this, trying to get back here for the nails in the back, because this is on the long way, and my oscillating tool doesn't have a long enough blade. And I was going to order the 4 to 6 inch blades, but I didn't. I went with the Diablo instead, and they don't have that in the offering, so this is what I tried to do. And what I realized very quickly is this tool is not made for this at all. In fact, it's very underpowered. I took this out, put a pruning blade on it. I believe I did film it. And it did a terrible job. It could barely cut little small things, and I had to hold them very specifically against the shoe. Whereas my octane, and yes, this is a mess. This is a construction site. Anyways, the octane, it doesn't matter. It cuts right through, has way more torque on the actual pullback of the blade. This one would actually jam. That one doesn't. Like, it'll break the blade clean off before it jams. It's weird, which I actually did. I snapped the blade right off. Boom. And I overheated it with, I think this tool. Maybe it was the other tool. I'm not sure. But yeah, for situations like this, getting in behind studs that need to be replaced, it's a pretty good size to do it, but it just doesn't have the power. Most of the time when you're doing this, you're actually forcing the blade behind there and also curving it. And one thing I do recommend is these Lennox fire and rescue blades for this exact type of work, because I can bend this clear over as far as I need to, and then it comes right back. And so far I haven't really bent this one except for a tiny little bit. You can kind of see. Actually, I don't think I bent it at all. Why was I seeing that? Oh, that's just a mark on the side of the blade. Well, anyways, fire and rescue blade, very good. But buying a saw that you have to use like a manual saw, I'm sorry, it's like a letdown. I might as well just go buy one of the Milwaukee handles that you put recip blades in, because that'd be about the same amount of work done. I guess for smaller stuff, like cutting way smaller than this pipe, I don't even think we'd cut that. But yeah, I don't recommend this for demolition work. I don't recommend it for cutting really any big wood or even nails. This struggled cutting nails, really did. And my octane flies right through them, even with the old blade. And I've tried to find these blades. I haven't found somebody who supplies them yet. That will come later. I might as well sneak into the video. Don't forget to put these plates in, or you'll end up putting screws or a nail or something into your wiring and also your boards, or I mean your pipes. And also, when you're doing this, don't forget to foam around, because the pests can get right through there if there's holes. So anywhere where there's a hole, even behind this I think there's a hole. Well, maybe some caulking will fill that. You just got to remember to fill those in, because any of those places, that's where the pests can get through. But yeah, back to the saw. I can just say that overall I'm disappointed in just the amount of work it can do. Like, it can barely prune tree branches that are like 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, what are you gonna cut with this? I don't even understand. So I guess it's just trying to wedge this into small spaces and using my rigid oscillating saw, which is surprisingly big as well, comparatively speaking. Way big. It goes almost all the way to the tip of that blade. So as you can see, well, this one's, you can get it in tighter spaces when you put it at a 45, or you can put it at different angles, which I rarely do. But in certain situations, like when this board was actually faced, this face board was right there, I couldn't get this to it because I have a shorter blade. So that's where that would come in handy. And it actually did work once I pulled the board out. So I took a flat bar and I'd wedge it in like this, and then I would separate enough to where I can get the back nails, and also use the big pry bar to push this way, separate enough to where I could get these nails that are going from this way. And so on this last board, all I have is the backside ones, which I can get to with my multi-tool oscillating saw. So I gotta be honest, I think I'm gonna return this, because I'm not a plumber and I don't regularly deal with things like conduit or really anything of that nature. And don't forget to cut your foam back. Oh, I do have to say, I used it for cutting this foam over here, and it did a wonderful job. So I guess I kind of compared it to, this is basically a knife that you would cut a turkey with on Christmas Day, because it would do a really good job at that. But for cutting wood and nails, it's just not good enough. I'm sorry, Milwaukee. Somebody come up with something small, recip like, that can just destroy nails. That's what we need. Because look at the space in between here. Look at it. Even this one's too big. Yeah, I know I got a 9-inch blade on there, because when you're doing face cutting, it takes all your blade to get up to it. Like, for example, when I was doing this one, or no, one of them, I don't know, but it just doesn't have the power, and I barely made any cuts, and it burned a bar off the battery, and I didn't even really barely use it. I popped out my rigid and started finishing the jobs. So everyone's like, oh yeah, Milwaukee, it'll be the last tool you need, you're always gonna grab it. No, I grab my rigid. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions on the tool as to for what I was using it for, ask me. Tell me I'm dumb, I don't care.